Hello, how's it going, guys? So this is gonna be 10 ways that you could use a trapdoor. Um, I don't know when, I forgot when they introduced trapdoor, but since then it's been one of the main things I've used in buildings. It's an amazing building block. It's just something super cool that they introduced, and even the way that they now work. Because back then there was a lot of restrictions on how it worked, but now it's amazing. It's one of the best things. It's one of the main things I use in every building. If I build something, I'm 90% going to use at least trapdoor somewhere in my build. So this is 10, uh, just different ways you could probably use a trapdoor. Maybe you know these ways, maybe you didn't. I just wanted to make a video to see, if you guys enjoyed this kind of content, and I'll keep posting this kind of content, maybe more building videos. This is the first one, and as you can see, I made this tree, and then I put some scaffolding on top of the beehive. Even though they have a block, right, for the beehive, this just adds a little bit of texture. Uh, I just got some bone meal, put it around, and yeah. So this is the first thing I. But yeah, it's very simple. It's pretty cool. I think the two main things here are the trapdoors and the snow. You could use wool, but I just like to add the snow just because you could layer it, so you could make some pretty make a full block and just a little bit more. So that's pretty cool. So it just adds a little bit more fluffiness to it. So there you go. This was the first one. And the second way I would use the trapdoors is bridges. Like I said, the trapdoors, this specific trapdoor, in my opinion, like I said, is basically just a thin piece of wood with a lot of texture. So it's great for building, and it's great for just taking your eye off just one color, because it's three colors. The gray, the actual wood part, and a little bit more darker wood. Um, so I made this pond, a lot of greenery. I think the greenery really, on these two builds right here, it does it's a good eye pleaser to me. Um, I don't know, maybe you guys don't enjoy that, but I really enjoy just mixing in some greenery with just my buildings. I mean, it's not the best bridge, right? But I think not having it um, symmetrical is something that I enjoy when I build. Same thing, it's not that hard. It's just a variety of the slabs, and then of course I just bone mealed the bamboos, and then just added some little fishies. So if we actually go to what am I doing? Uh, so I added some coral and some I think sea pickles. Yeah, sea pickles. They light up when it's dark. So I don't know if this is mob proof. I'm pretty sure there's some areas that are, just because it's slabs and trapdoors. Um, but yeah, you don't really need torches when it gets nighttime. So I think that's another great um, thing to do if you're gonna do kind of this open bridge style build. So yeah, the next thing I use trapdoors for is pretty much just what would you call that though? Okay, well, so this build in particular has a lot of things going for it, right? It has the campfire, the fence gates, the trapdoors, and the fences. So I made this uh, kind of just different roof. I used the campfires and just used some water to put them all out, and then just added some signs around. I kind of wish the signs went a little bit down. I thought they would, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I think it adds a little bit more texture to it. And I used the smokers, and all I did was I put a campfire and then a smoker on top, and the smoke went up like that. So it just looks like it's a barbecue area. And if you guys didn't know, if you put cobblestone walls, I think a little bit more far, and fence gates, these two fence gates that actually connect with the stone wall, for some reason go down a little bit. So if you put another fence gate, it makes this archway, right? So they made these little archways. So like I said, it just adds a little bit of texture to what would have been a dull, building. And yeah, I mean, there's not that much. I believe all of these builds are simplistic. They don't take up that much resources. Maybe the campfires and the smokers, but honestly, I don't think any of these builds would take up. Besides that one over there, but we'll get to that. They don't take up that much resources. And then I just kind of mix stones. But yeah, so that's another way you can make trapdoors useful. Of course, there's like a barbecue area, right? You have the side little panels. So yeah, and then just this weird building that I don't know why I made, but it looks pretty cool. And then let's go to this build. So this build is a lot of tricks that I've learned over just time playing Minecraft. One of them being the rope or the lead. So this is like a campsite, right? You have a campfire right here in like a protected barrel, and then you have your porta potty. You can't even go in the water, right? Because of the new way, the different mechanics of water now. So this is pretty cool, and it's really just trapdoors. So you just pick a. Oh, I get this as well. You pick a block, and instead of putting it on the block, right, like that, you just go around the block. Oh, like this. And then you just get the door. Like that. See? So, pretty easy. So this is something that I really don't like to use just because it involves animals, and if you're gonna be in this area for a long time, it might get annoying just hearing whatever animal you decide to hide in there. But what you could do is, let's say, buildings that have rope attached to them. Well, I don't know what that would be, but if your building for some reason has ropes, or maybe you're making a boat and you want to use the leads as ropes, all you do is you lead an animal. I use the chicken, and you just hide it underground or wherever you want the lead to face, and then you just put a fence gate, or not a fence gate, a fence to keep them, and then you have the illusion that this campsite has rope. So that's what I did. I think my tent looks terrible, but just another way to use the trapdoors once more. Just have more room. Instead of having full blocks, you have the trapdoors, which gives the illusion that you have more space, but you can't put anything in there, because it's not a full block. So that's another way you could use trapdoors. This is kind of, it feels like there was a theme going on, and then I just broke the theme. But this is something that I've been, just testing, and then just trying to find out what looks cool, what doesn't. So when they came out with these observers, they had a face on them. It's pretty funny. It looks more of a very serious face, and I thought of ways to make robots, right? So these are all the ways. I'm sure 100% that there's way more different ways you can make robots. But this is the way I made them. So I give you 6 ways, just different variations of the robot. So I use the grindstone, just upside down, so you know, whatever block you want to use, and you just put a grindstone like that, and it looks like a wheel. I put the observer. You have to face it away from you in the direction you want it to look. So if you're looking on this direction and you want it facing towards you, you would actually go the opposite direction, right? So this is uh, one of the smallest robots. I'm pretty sure, like I said, you can make more different types of variations of the robot, but this is one of them. This is the smallest out of all of them. So this one's very simple. It's just a grindstone, observer, trapdoor, and then tripwires for hands. I think probably these two are the next in complexity. So you have once more the grindstone. This time you have a blast furnace. You can put whatever you want in the middle, you know, whatever looks like a core or a body to you. And of course the observer, trapdoor, and then levers. So I think with the levers you could have, you know, like, hey, you know, whatever you want. This is another one. It's basically the same thing. All you changed was the levers, lever, to fence gates. So it's this exact same thing. Just put lever in. I guess you know, I also use trapdoors at the back, but you know you don't need to do that. Scaling a little bit in complexity. I made the same thing. Everything's the same, but I added hoppers as hands, and this looks like the shoulders, and this looks like the hand or the arms, right? And then the hands, you know, hidden away within his body or something like that. So yeah, this is another design. I think I would want to go to this one just because the last one is a little bit more complicated. So this one I think is the best out of all of them. If you're talking about it just looks, size, everything about it, in my opinion, looks pretty cool. Of course, if you know, I think this one would be the ideal robot, and then this one would be the Juggernaut because of the pistons, right? The shoulders and then the arms and the hands. Same thing, grindstone, blast furnace, but this time added the redstone block and then the observer. And then I put, you know, I'm pretty sure you could also, you know, move them whatever you want, make it up so that, you know, they're punching up, you know. But yeah, pistons down, and then I just hit him with trapdoors. And now for the final one, this which is I don't even know. I was just, like I said, playing around trying to make robots, but so grindstone, blast furnace, and observer. But then I added glass panes, just because unless you see that bottom part, you really can't tell that there's anything there. I try to use tripwire, but everything went through the tripwire, so that didn't work. I added armor stands, and then I actually added a cap. I genuinely don't know what I was thinking, but the illusion would be that this would be the shoulder, then the arm, and then the hands. And then I don't know what that was up there, but you know, like I said, you can play around with this design. I give you some ways of making the design, right? I honestly think this is the best one out of all the designs. And of course, if you want to make multiple pretty quickly, either this one or this one would be the easiest one to make, in my opinion. But going on to actually using the trapdoors, right? I think you've seen these, and if not, this is usually what I'll do, and this is kind of just my standard. If I'm gonna make a table, a desk, usually I'll add trapdoors just onto blocks, if I feel like they're somewhat out of place. So let's say a crafting table. I would put a crafting table, then I would put a trapdoor. Why? I don't know. I feel like it's just like I said, the spruce trapdoor just has more of a actual block, but a very thin block, right? It's very thin. It just has more texture. So that's why I like using the spruce uh, variation of the trapdoor. And so when doing shelving, I'll do a fence gate and just trapdoor. And I think, that'll add to a wall instead of having just a plain wall like this. You've added, and of course, if you wanted to add a table or dresser stuff, there you go. Look how much time and effort I put into this wall. Honestly, it wasn't even that much, and in my opinion, it looks better than just having a plain wall, right? If you're kind of building a house and you don't know what to build or put on the wall, of course you can put, um, paintings, right? It just gives it more color. Okay, that's a little bit big, but you know what I mean. You put paintings, and if you want, you could also make a oh snap! I forgot about the because I was thinking in my head I was like that's not supposed to happen. There you go. There you go. You make like a little secret entrance, right? And it fits all in this, 4x4, but it's not because there's 2 extra blocks that are needed. But that's usually what I'll do for buildings, interior wise. So this is the second bridge, and like I said, it's closed and it has just a little bit more personality. Same thing, coral, put some fishes, some sea pickles, put some leaves to make it look like bushes. Same thing, but this time, actually, I used, like I said, trapdoors. I used stairs. The reason why I used stairs was to actually make it more of a curve, because if you see, even if I do that, it takes time for me to get to the same block as just the stairs. So you could switch between them to see if you want to do a longer bridge or just a more curvier bridge. You could choose whichever one you want. But yeah, so I use walls for the top, pretty much the same thing, just slabs, and then trapdoors. So yeah, pretty cool. It's the exact same thing. I mean, nothing's really changed besides the stairs. But yeah, same little concept here as well with the fence gates. Has that curve if you use the walls, so I use the walls for that. And then this is a more of a showing of what you could do with the trapdoors. So let's say so we're gonna get to the other one, but let's say you just want a little bit of room, right? So this kind of indicates that it's 1 block wide, right? You still put stuff in here. If you want to put a crafting table in here, you're more than welcome to. But of course, you can't move. But still, if there's room, or if you don't have room, you can still make this work, right? Still a hallway or something like that. And then if you want a door here, you're more than welcome to do that. Or like that. Oops, my bad. Like that. There you go. It looks pretty cool. Boom. You know what I mean? So you have that option, right? But not only that, you could even make the walls even thinner, right? Because this is no longer a block wide. You can't add anything in here. Like this, you still add blocks in between here, but this is even thinner. Why you would use this, maybe you have redstone buildings or just projects that you don't want to see, and you're out of space. Well, this method allows you, of course it's not the prettiest, but that you have that option to use these trapdoors however you want. So this is using the same thing, and you would imagine you could put a block in here, but you still can't, just because it's using the same thing. You're taking up this block for this trapdoor. See how that works? So you can still use this, but you can't use this. So you gotta watch out when you're doing that as well. Make sure that you actually have a block and not and you didn't actually mess up. So it also has the use of texture. If you have a wall and you kind of want texture within that wall, right? You could do this as well, where it's having a pattern of going one in, one out, one in, one out. So you could have this cool, wall, if you would. So yeah, and then the second to last one. So I have two kind of concepts that I'm probably going to work on in later videos, but for now, this is kind of what I'm working on. And this is most likely what I'll do if I'll build a spiral staircase up to something, or maybe down to something. And the of course you could do whatever you want with the stairs, it's up to you. This is the way I do it. I do one in one and then skip of like a little air bubble. And of course, it's not supported by anything but the wall that it's going on. Besides that, but that doesn't really matter. You can use, like I said, whatever you want, but this is how I usually do my staircase, because either way you're still going to take up this amount of space, I believe, when you're building, even with stairs, right? You're still taking up that amount of space, which is 3 by 3. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you could get higher up faster. It's just this is more for looks. And then once more you have the walls, which is thin. So this is something that I'm pretty sure if you want to do it this way, maybe you don't have certain materials to, maybe you don't have scaffolding. This is a pretty cool way of getting up and down. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. Right, you just had to make it actually face the right way. I was just lazy and didn't want to put it all in the same direction. So just watch out when you go down. You can do whatever you want. It's just a concept that I made. I don't know if it works. Like I said, I just made this concept. And the last thing, which I think is the coolest thing about the updates that they're making for Minecraft, you can make micro houses or very small entrances to your house. There's nothing in here, but you get what I'm getting at. You could have a super secret base just for emergencies. Maybe have a chest that's super hidden, like that. And you could put obsidian around it because it's not going to take up that much resources to do it this way. You put lava around it, boom, boom, and then when you get out, boom. So yeah, I'm probably going to do some buildings in this fashion maybe later on, but yeah, so that was 10 ways you could use trapdoors. There's many ways to use trapdoors, but these are just 10 quick ways of how I usually would use trapdoors in my buildings, and then cool little fun new things that maybe you guys know, maybe you guys don't know, but yeah. So if you guys enjoy that, please let me know. And yeah, I guess I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.